Hey, what's up? It's day 31 and today we're going to do a book review of Power vs. Force, boom, by David R. Hawkins. David R. Hawkins has developed a technique in this book he calls kinesiology, and that is a muscle testing technique he uses to determine whether somebody is telling the truth or a lie, and this is determined by the muscle strength in an arm. So he holds a person's arm out like this, and if the arm goes weak, he knows he's telling a lie, and if it stays strong, it's a truthful statement. Now, obviously, it's a little bit out there, definitely. It's a little bit woo-wah. I don't necessarily have all the information on like whether this shit's proven or not, and you know, quite frankly, I don't really plan to, because I think that the larger picture of the book and the essence of what the book's about is more important than, you know, whether something's scientifically proven or not. Yeah, it's more of a self-help book based upon philosophy. So what does he mean by levels of consciousness? Well, I mean, I've got the book here, as you can see, and it basically goes through all the kind of paradigms of what he would refer to consciousness. The bottom level here is what he refers to as shame, and this is logged in at 20, and then it goes right through all these different things here. At the very top is anywhere between 700 and 1,000 is marked as what he would refer to as enlightenment. And it's all about perspective as well, you know. These are essentially just life views. That's all it is. It's just a life view. So the same situation could happen to two different people, and it depends on what level of consciousness you're at, and that will determine your opinion and your view towards that. For instance, you could lose a job. Now, if you lost your job, you were working, you lost your job for whatever reason, you got let go, you could turn around, and if you were coming from, say, a level of anger, which would be 150, as he defines it, that would be, you know, I'm pissed off because I fucking hate those people. Why would they fire me? Why would they fire me? You know, it's all about me, and it's selfish, and it's kind of, again, tapping into this idea that it's forceful, it's not coming from a place of abundance. Whereas somebody who's, say, at a level of 300, you know, which is, 310, which is the level of willingness, that's more somebody who's hopeful and looks to be more constructive in life, and he could say, well, it's fine because I'm in abundance, I can get another job. You know, I've got one job, I've had the tools and the assets to get one job, and you know what, whatever works best. If I wasn't working best for that company, then I wish them the best without me, because, you know, I'm just coming from that place of giving. The tipping point for consciousness usually hits in around level 200, which he refers to as courage. Courage is the point where you start to see problems and they transmute themselves into what we refer to as challenges. So what would at first be a problem, which might be, I can't get this fucking video to work, which is something that I'm struggling with, now it can become a challenge. Now it can be coming from a place of, right, well, if I get this done, think about the opportunity, think about how I'll grow from the experience. And that doesn't necessarily require too much brain power, really. It just requires a willingness to let go of outcomes and to just sort of calm the hell down a little bit. Fuck me, why is this so hard? Just fucking get rid of it! No. Fuck you. So David R. Hawkins, Pride's an interesting one as well, because it's a sticking point. You know, from pride we end up with denial. You know what, this painting that I've done's fucking brilliant, and someone turns around and criticises it. You've spent so much time on that painting, and somebody comes around and says they don't like it, which is fine. People have a right to their own opinions, but the denial in saying, no, well, this painting's brilliant because I've done it, I'm proud of it, leave it alone. Mainstream media plays off of the lower levels of consciousness very effectively. You take somebody who's in apathy at the 50 level, and you try and boost that guy up to something like 500, 600 level of love and joy, and it's not going to work. It's too big of a gap, you understand? But you could take somebody at 50 and take him up to anger, and anger, I believe, was level 150, because it's a smaller gap. It's easier to go from feeling nothing in apathy to spiking yourself into, say, 150. And that's why things like clickbait and media scandals work so well, because people react in an angry fashion towards pointless shit on the internet, because they want to feel something. Because people go about their lives feeling absolutely nothing. I'm not going to do them all, but I will jump to level 500, which is love. Love is interesting because the mainstream outlook of love is completely different to the way it's described in this book. And I think a lot of people pretend they know what love is. What is love? In the great words of Hadaway. But the truth is, at least the truth, fucking hell, the way this guy describes it is, we refer to love as an intense emotional condition combining physical attraction, possessiveness, control, addiction, eroticism, and novelty. So you might have noticed in your life, and if it's not your life, then it's certainly your friend's life, which is you've always got that one friend who jumps in and out of relationships, you know, constantly, just fluctuating. He says he loves this girl and then he jumps to another person because the other one was a fucking bitch, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's not love. That's all. I don't want to pretend I know what the answer to that question is, but I know that that's wrong, because it's just anger and frustration disguised as another emotion. Because the second that relationship you know, hits a roadblock, the second there's a complication in the relationship or whatever, and the couple start to argue, all this negative shit gets brought up, you know, like it was hidden under the surface. And love can quickly turn into anger and frustration and guilt and apathy, and jealousy was a big one. So that isn't unconditional, is it? Because unconditional love would suggest that there is absolutely no situation in which that partnership couldn't work. And also, love is not mutually exclusive. Love is universal, which means that, you know, you have just as much not physical attraction or like sexual chemistry or whatever with that one person, but you've got a universal love for all things, and you love, you know, your girlfriend as much as you love the randomer in the street. That's unconditional, because it's not based on the conditions of the sexual relationship with that person. Now, of course, there are different levels of, as I say, physical attraction with, say, a partner or a wife, but it's the unconditional love which is completely non-discriminatory. This book's amazing because it helps us deal with so many of our own problems in business, in our personal health, in our development, in our fitness, you know, just our attitudes towards life and our attitudes towards progression and our attitudes towards the opposite of that, which is essentially like degeneration. Maybe in like a business situation and someone's just rubbed you up the wrong way or tried to screw you over or something like that. You know, you're not coming from this place of like, right, well, let's get these guys out of business, let's ruin thousands of lives and jobs. It's coming from a place of like, right, how do we better mankind? You know, I can pretty much guarantee that a lot of the philosophies in this book will be shared by some of the great entrepreneurs of our world. I imagine Steve Jobs probably had like a very similar, maybe not the exact same, I mean, it's fucking out there, isn't it? But, you know, a similar kind of, was probably on a similar sort of paradigm as this, where he was like, okay, let's just give and give and give, and let's just see what happens, you know? So yeah, no, I think it's a really awesome book. Again, bit weird in places. I'm not sure about the whole, I can tell if the governor, I can tell if the president's lying because his hand goes weak. Probably not, I imagine. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this review of Power vs. Force, I had to look at the name then, by David R. Hawkins. Don't forget to subscribe below and like and comment and shit like that. And if you dislike the video, please dislike the video, because I love to see them red thumb down buttons. And yeah, do you know what? It's quite funny. I could be like, dislike the video, and I will love you anyway. I love you, everyone. Run!